Welcome to our executive interview series at AWS Innovate Day, presented by FedScoop. I'm Wyatt Cash with Scoop News Group, and we're here with Matt Chong, Vice President of Federal at Qualtrics. Matt, thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure being here. Appreciate it.
Let me start by asking, how are you seeing cloud-based collaboration tools helping government agencies improve on innovation?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, with these tools, it's allowing the agency and the sub-agencies and programs and offices to actually work together. I think oftentimes what we see in the federal government is they don't actually talk to each other a lot. And so with these tools, what we're seeing is a lot of these, again, sub-agencies, programs, offices collaborating more, and that really brings out the innovation. From a Qualtrics perspective, what we see these customers doing is around omni-channel and experience data. And when I'm talking about omni-channel, right, we talk about things like emails, phone calls, texts, digital websites, applications, and so on and forth. And then when we talk about experience data, we're actually talking about the human element and the human solicited feedback. And so, for example, right, if you're a veteran, you go through all these different touch points. And from the VA's perspective, right, you have to be able to provide the best service delivery possible for those veterans. And so if you look at these different touch points, I'll give a couple examples. One is a veteran goes to a website, they try to find a service that they need from a digital perspective, and they want to be able to provide feedback from a website standpoint, or they go to an actual VA clinic, which is a physical location, right? Or they go and call into a call center, and they want to make sure that they get the service that they want, or maybe they're frustrated. All those different touch points are mechanisms for us to have an interaction and us to provide and gather that feedback, and for the VA to gather that feedback to make sure that the experience gaps are closed. And I think the coolest part about that, right, is all those three different touch points that I mentioned could be separate teams within the VA. And so if we bring it all together, what happens and what we're seeing are these different teams working together, collaborating, and then making sure that the best innovation service delivery is there for the veterans.
And then where are you seeing advances in new technologies and tools really having the greatest impact on improving mission critical services?
Yeah, I think it's the usual, right? But for us, it's the AI, automation, and then unstructured data analysis, and how that's actually getting infused in customer experience and employee experience specifically. And when we talk about unstructured data analysis, for example, that's really the unsolicited feedback, right? So solicited being someone's requesting that feedback from you, right? Because we're a feedback company, or unsolicited, which is where we're going towards, which is you're offering that feedback to someone. So for example, in the call center, when you call and you're really frustrated, what we're able to do, and really, some cool things is, you take that voice and then you transcribe that into text. And then we tag those and annotate those from a natural language processing perspective. And then we can say, hey, here's the measurement of sentiment, emotion, and effort. And then you can actually close that loop, right, and then provide a delightful experience to the customer, knowing that that's all automated and triggers different workflows and so on and so forth. And so the best thing about that is, when that happens, you're able to then get a lens of just that one customer. But then imagine if you bring it all together with thousands or hundreds of thousands of calls, and then you see this broader picture. And when you see that picture, right, from that kind of macro view, then you can pinpoint what some problems are, and then that's how you get really mission critical in regards to agencies applying that, looking at it, and then actually closing the loop and making sure that from a broader perspective, they can actually get the job done and the mission done.
Great example. Well, Matt Chong, thank you so much for joining us here at AWS Innovate Day.
Really appreciate it. Thank you.